express my thanks to all the experts for giving their views. And their views has not focused directly on the issue, but provoke thinking on the issue. For instance, should education be competency based or should it be competitiveness based? This question implies that the concepts are different. Competence is different from competition. Now the question I may just put forward. Competence is required or is essential for competition. But competition is not necessary for competence development. Let me repeat it. Competence is a must for competition. But competition is not essential requirement for competence development. I think we can clarify this only by clarifying the concept competence and concept competition. The concept competition, the concept competence has a frame of reference on the task to be performed, the role to be performed, the responsibility to be discharged. The focus is on that and not on the person as such. Whereas in competition, the task is fixed. There is one goal. There are two or more people trying to reach that goal. And if one reaches that goal, the other person misses the opportunity. There, the reference is on the person, the individual differences in the person. So let me just narrate certain stories. Often we make a mistake of competence because of taking the person as a reference. And in this context, I remember the famous Peter principle. The Peter principle says that you promote everyone to their level of incompetence. One example, there is an excellent professor at the university. His competence is very high in that function. But is he really competent to become the vice chancellor? If the reference point is the person he is, if the reference point is not on the person, but on the task and role to be played, the story is different. The requirement for the position of a vice chancellor as an educational administrator is different from the requirement of a teacher or researcher. So we have to just evaluate, not in terms of the person as such, but evaluate in terms of the requirement of the situation. Now I remember a number of issues. Once I was making a selection for a particular company, and after certain experience, the company made an observation. Sir, if you have conducted a test on what? Test on reasoning, test on verbal ability, test on numerical ability, and so on. And you have just prepared a rank list. We would not like to select people who are at the top. We would not like to select people at that lower level. We will select those people who are in the middle because they are the right fit for our requirement. So our competence is not in terms of your high intellectual genius. Our requirement is now what I am saying, why I am making this statement is that the reference point is very important. When we talk about competence-based education, the focus will be more on grading. If you talk about competition-based education, the focus will be more on ranking. So should we have an education system with focus on ranking, or should we have an education system with focus on grading? When I say grading, it means that you have a standard whether the students are obtaining the standard or not. But when you talk about the ranking, it is not the standard, it is the ordinal scale wherein who is number 1, who is number 2, who is number 3, and so on. That there is a competition in that ranking, but there is no such competition in the grading part of it. I think this is my one point. Later I will elaborate this after certain stage. For the time being, let me stop at this point.
Yes.
Thank you.